Benfica Podcast is one of the founding members of Benfica Independent. Benfica Independent is an independent platform made by fans for fans, and in it you can find opinion articles, podcasts, including ours truly, and also modalidades, if you will. We're also on Patreon, patreon.com/Benfica Independent, where you can get merch, you can sign to get exclusive content, and share your Benfiquismo.
Ser benfiquista é uma crença.
É uma religião muito grande.
A adesão a um culto que é liberado, que crê, que é mental, que é o caráter das pessoas.
A alma de quem é grande, maior que os maiores.
É uma paixão que não tem explicação.
Eu não consigo explicar o que é ser do Benfica. Eu sinto o que é ser do Benfica. É de facto uma paixão. E as paixões são assim, vivem-se assim intensamente.
Aqui não há nenhuma razão. É paixão, paixão, paixão.
Ser Benfica. Até à morte.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Talking to the Dog Benfica podcast. My name is Alfredo Fumaças. What's going on? How's everybody doing out there? Everybody doing good? Hopefully everybody's doing well, safe and sound, warm or cold. So here we are. Episode number 4.
Did you just say you hope there's people that are warm and cold?
Yeah, so the people that are hot, maybe they need to be cold.
If they're cold, they're not doing well.
No, but if they're hot, they need to be cool.
They're listening from Brazil. They might need the.
That's right. Or if in Australia and it's too hot for the kangaroos, you need some water and cool weather. Anyway, as you heard their voices already, the Oliveras are here. I'll start with Cristiano. Cristiano, como é que é, amigo? Como é que tu estás?
Pá, like the old saying, I've been better, but I've also been worse. So all things considered, I'm doing all right.
And Eustachio's long-lost cousin, Dave de Oliveira. What's going on, Dave de Oliveira?
He might be excommunicated from the family if that's the case. If we're cousins, cut my allegiance to Eustachio. But I don't know if I'm supposed to be more upset at him or at our club for mismanaging and not trying to swoop in and get him there. But.
Yeah, Stocky's been banned. That name's been banned on this podcast.
I think, look, my opinion.
What's his name? Rui Vitória. Not Vitória. What's his name? Steven Vitória. But Vitória's not banned yet. But this guy's definitely been banned.
Nelson Carvalho. Welcome all the Freddies, by the way. Nelson Carvalho is saying that Eustachio is dead to him now.
Morreu.
Morreu, cara.
Não, como fala outro cara. Fudeu.
So here we are. Another night, another podcast, as the saying goes. And tonight, this week, if you guys follow us on social media, this week we celebrated on Monday. We celebrated our 10th anniversary. So 10 years we've been. Well, at least I have. These guys joined a little later, but not too much later. 10 years has been since the first time I published a podcast, a Benfica podcast. It's been a long journey. For sure, you guys all know about our journey. We thank all of you guys for your support, your listenership. 10 years flew by.
A Journey song to sing, but it's not coming to mind right now.
A Journey?
A Journey song. I know. What's the one? Stephen
Double Vision. I think that's a Journey song. Is that a Journey song, Dave?
Well, they got Don't Stop Believing.
That's the one I know. Don't stop believe. That's the only one I say. Because that was the one.
How does that tie into?
No, because he was talking about a journey, and he's like, "Oh, it's been a long journey." I was like, "Oh, don't stop!" But I couldn't. I knew there was a song. I just couldn't pick out the song.
You just knew there was a song by Journey that had nothing to do with the fact that we celebrated 10 years.
No, it's a journey. By Journey.
By Journey. But the song has nothing to do with the journey itself.
Well, it's like don't
But
stop
don't stop
believing.
believing. Yeah,
That's
you're
what
right.
you were telling yourself on that night 10 years ago. Don't stop believe when you, because as you yourself have said multiple times, pá, tu decidiste falar pô, boneco. You're talking to
Boneco.
yourself. You believe that maybe there was somebody on the other end of the line listening. And look, you were correct. So don't stop. I think
Yeah.
that plays in. I think when you do like the wrap up of this podcast today, Dave, should be don't stop. No, that's why I wasn't a good producer.
We
Never
might
mind.
have some copyright infringements there.
Never mind.
Yeah, can't be live on YouTube.
Well, every
with
time you
copyright.
just play the sound, the actual beat, and then when they say don't, and then beep.
No, it
beep.
captures. For some reason, there's an algorithm that captures like the beats and the tempo of the song, and is able to identify the song from millions and millions of songs out there, and
And it lets them know.
and you get struck by a copyright, and your video may even be put down because of it.
I did that when I like 15 years ago. I tried to download one of them Matt Damon movies, and I got a letter from NBC that were taking me to court. But I never showed up or returned the letter, so I don't know whatever happened.
Watch
There's
out when
a-
you try to leave the country.
There's an outstanding warrant for Chris for
It was
copyright
15
infringement.
years ago, man. It's 15 years ago.
So anyway, here we are. Thank you to all the supporters. Certainly grateful for the community and the people that we've gotten to meet. And some of, I mean, Timo goes back a while,
Who's that?
and along with Timo, many others that we've gotten to meet and that we've kind of brought together as a result of listeners to the podcast. So I think that's the biggest thing that I take out of it is the fact that we've made some friendships, some of them enduring, and then we've gotten to meet a lot of people, myself and Cristiano. We've had really good experiences because of the podcast, trips to Portugal, et cetera. Me, of course, Cristiano never went.
Good point.
The voice.
I went back in the day. I went back in 20 when we Braga. We were there for. I mean, that I think that was the loudest I've ever heard. I mean, obviously, it was the loudest I heard Benfica Stadium in a long time. It was 2-0 victory by Benfica, if you recall. You and I were there enjoying ourselves.
Nah, I mean,
we've been to a couple of games. I mean,
Yeah.
look, our trips are always valuable. We've been very fortunate when they've come here to the United States to be
Yeah.
present. Me, different capacity, but nonetheless, we're all get to meet our lovely followers, our supporters here of the podcast, and I think that's the thing we enjoy the most. And you know me, Alfredo, I'm a little puta for attention. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Come on.
I'm just saying, I'm.
no, not you.
I just,
No.
I love these Facebook, whatever this is called, Twitter lives, Instagram lives, whatever we're doing here. I love the chat. I love the meeting people. I remember you and I were walking around with a microphone, and as you were interviewing people, I was trying to like sneak out a beer from their coolers. And, it's absolutely, one
Yeah.
of the most amazing things that we do here on the podcast. The family is just ginormous. We've been
Yeah.
fortunate to meet people from all over the world. Here, both in the United States and when we went to Portugal. So, yeah, I mean, we couldn't reiterate it enough. I think you guys are fabulous. We appreciate all the support. Alfredo, you're the mastermind behind all this, but I think all of us that have jumped here on your ride, we've enjoyed it as much as you and the guys and gals that listen to us on a weekly basis or
Yeah.
monthly basis, or like Timo once a year. Those guys, we appreciate them very much, and this is why we do it. At least I look forward to coming on a podcast on dark days, and there's been a lot of them lately, because I know I get to speak to Benfiquistas that need to hear my annoying voice sometimes because it's their therapy. We've started off with the joking, right? With it being a therapy. But it is therapy. It's therapy for me, the fact that I'm able
It's
to talk
free
to you guys.
therapy.
So yeah, man. I mean, we couldn't thank you guys enough. So
Yeah. No,
until the next
along
time.
with the family, I could think of things that we've done that otherwise we would have never been able to do, like me being on Benfica TV, for example, or BTV, whatever. I think it was BTV when I was on it. But certainly, hooking up with guys from the other side, guys that understood our project, that respected our project, that still respect our project, and kind of took inspiration from our project. So that's to me that is satisfying, and we often get emails I get emails from guys that said, "Hey man, I look forward to your podcast every week. I put it on at work, and it helps work go by. Those things certainly appreciate. We appreciate those comments. We appreciate all of you. So I don't know how much longer we're going to be doing this for. Hopefully, it'll be maybe for another few years, but 10 years is certainly a big landmark, especially because you see so many projects sometimes start with good intentions, and I've been part of some, and just fizzing out because the interest loses or the commitment lose out there, and things just end up finishing. It's not as easy as people think. Just come on here every week, be prepared, do things, and have the longevity that we've had. So I'm tapping myself on back and tooting my own horn, but certainly, 10 years is definitely an important milestone.
I've had totally different experiences, Alfredo. All the projects I've been involved that didn't work out because people just got tired of me.
But fortunately, I got a Chris tolerance.
they just got fuck this guy.
Chris, do you know I'm able to tolerate you? I won't call you for days,
bro.
And
Because
if we speak every day, man, I don't know, man.
Stop, man. You love me like fat girls like chocolate. Listen to me, man. You're the yin to my yang, or I'm the yin to your yang, or whatever it is, bro. Tu és que eles falam mal, but you listen. I bet that on days that you don't speak to me, you go back and listen to the podcast just so you listen to my voice.
Oh yeah, every day. As a matter of fact, I have a reel that I just cut up. That all it is your voice. I cut out myself and Dave, and all it is your voice.
No, you could
number one bullshit guy.
Where's that one at? I don't know where it's at, bro. No taki. I don't know. You took it out, bro. Cricket.
No, I did it. Number one bullshit guy.
Epa, no tá aqui, caraca.
Aí tá, pá.
Here it is.
Oh, you see this guy? Number one bullshit guy.
Is that your ring? Is that my ringtone when I call your phone? You see this guy?
That's a good idea.
A warning.
That's a good idea. But anyway, we're getting a little bit off track here.
No, let's stick to this. Fun is better.
Right.
It's more fun than speaking about the games.
You're right. But we need to talk about the game because otherwise we'll never finish the podcast, right? So on tonight's podcast, we'll look back at the Aroca game. We'll also look back at the semifinal for the Taça da Liga against Boa Vista that just happened yesterday, and that is the reason why we're here today on a Wednesday and not on a Tuesday. And we'll look ahead to the matchup against Sporting 13 years later, a repeat of the final that we had against Sporting for the Taça da Liga game that we won on a very controversial game. So we'll talk about that. So let's get right into Aroca. Aroca, Benfica traveled up north to play Aroca. Aroca coming into this game, 4 losses, 1 tie in the last 5 games. So good moment for Aroca, I guess. Vlaco Dimos was in goal. Lázaro, Otamendi, Vertonghen, and Grimaldo across the back. Weigl, Bernardo, João Mário in the midfield. Rafa, Darwin, and Yaremchuk up front. No surprises here, I don't think. I think we've seen Darwin deployed on our left side. I think that ever since we gave up that 3-man defender, we're going to have that third guy in the midfield, and so happens to be Paulo Bernard. But anyway, 4-4-2 to start. I don't know. I'm running out of things to write about these games. It just seems like it's a repeat. Every game seems like it's a repeat. It's a rinse and repeat of everything that happened the past week or the past few weeks.
Dave, what's the famous line, Dave? Come on, let us know. It is
what it is.
There it
is. And it's a rinse of a repeat, and it's not even like it's okay. Yeah, rinse repeat. We're doing stuff great. Like keep it up. Let's keep this going. No, it's a rinse and repeat of bad old smelly laundry that no matter how many times we put it in the machine, it's still
the smell doesn't come
comes out with the stench there, and we're the ones that are still standing by the washing machine. Maybe this load is going to be different, but no, it's same old, and it's not a good smell from our end of it.
Yeah, 32nd minute, 0-1 for Benfica. Darwin with a PK, a clear PK if you ask me. Then in the 41st minute, Vlaco Dimos had a save on a PK, in a PK that had it gone in. Maybe we're talking about a different story here. But then, we saw Darwin miss in the 9th minute. We saw Darwin on a counter in the 43rd minute that really couldn't do anything with the ball. Yeah, just another poor half by Benfica. I think that the team comes out with every intention in the first minutes of the game, and then things kind of even out. And then after that, it's just, I don't know, just sad, just depressing. In the 46th minute, Everton came in for Yaremchuk, and Benfica reverted to the 4-3-3. And then, after suffering for most of the second half, and 90-plus, Gonçalo Ramos, who had come in for Darwin in the 75th minute, got the second goal and kind of put our minds to rest. Chris.
All right, that's a wrap. That pretty much sums up the game. Thank you, Alfredo. Moving on to the next topic. No.
If only it was that easy.
All right, Nelson Carvalho brings up again. Why are we playing 4-4-2 instead of 4-3-3? These guys don't suit the 4-4-2.
Bro, what do we don't suit the 4-4-3 neither. We don't suit
We don't suit the 4-4-2. We don't suit the 4-3-3. We don't suit the 3-5, the 3-5-2. I don't know. You name it. And it's funny because I've been reading, and I was talking about this, that with Veríssimo taking over, it's almost like we're having a bit of a preseason, right? Because we're learning all new things, or the team is learning all these new things from the beginning. But to be honest, I don't see any improvements.
You're saying they're learning? I'm not seeing anything of what they're learning. This is already his 4th or 5th, going on 5th game in charge. Like, I know in preseason we still got to give the guys some time, but I've just seen a steady plateau of the boys going through the motions and nothing really being creative offensively, or there's no real game plan. They're moving around, they're doing the actions, but with no real intention behind.
They're going through the motions.
They're moving around.
Slow
That's
motion.
A compliment. That's the best compliment. They're moving around out there.
They're moving around.
Go ahead, Dave. I'm sorry. I'm not cutting you. Dave,
I was done. I was done with that.
I never thought I'd say this, but I think at this point, I'd rather go to a dentist to sit in their chair than watch a Benfica game. At least you get drugs when you sit in a chair. But Benfica is just...
I got to go to your dentist then.
After, not during. You get drugs during?
Yeah.
After. No, they numb you up. Numb you up is not a drug. They numb your ass up. I mean, they can't numb your brain up. It's wherever.
Well, depends on what type of procedure. One time I went to the dentist.
I mean, it's got to do dental. I mean, what do you go to the dentist to get your toes worked on?
No, one time I went to the dentist and I woke up and my pants were down by my knees.
Are you sure it was a dentist?
Dave,
it was a girl dentist.
Dave, you still want to go to that dentist?
I guess the drugs and his pants around his legs.
Wait, hold on. Was the dentist the one that took the drugs, Alfredo?
It could have been.
Okay, or maybe that's what it was.
No, but look,
listen. But let's get back to football. The question is, we talk about how dire things are at Benfica right now, currently. And look, you know me, I ask dumb questions. Are things better now or worse than when our previous coach was there? In terms of, I don't mean off the, I'm talking about in terms of the way the team is playing football-wise on the field. Is it better now? Or is it worse?
Well, here's the way I think about it, right? With JJ, we had bigger expectations. At least I did, right? And I think everybody did. And with Nelson Veríssimo, the fact that he's Mr. It is what it is, I think everybody's kind of grown numb to everything that's going on. That's my feeling. What do you think, Dave?
It's hard to say. I think a lot of this still ties into the loss of Veríssimo on the back line there. Because if you think about it, when we were playing the 5-3-2 or
3-4-3,
yeah, the team was playing well, but then I mean, like, they would have the occasional hiccups from time to time, but nothing like we're seeing now. Like, this isn't even positive soccer or positive football that we're watching. Like I said, it's just the guys going through the motions and there's no clear attack. So like the chicken or the egg? Is it because JJ is gone, or I know Verissimo had a key role there in the back line too, and I don't know how much we're not taking that into consideration here, and maybe that's why the team has to kind of relearn their tactics, adopting to a 4-4-2 or a 4-3-3 now that Lucas Verissimo is not there.
Yeah,
We
I
can
think-
talk about the Iroka game all you guys want, but I have to be brutally honest here. I spent majority of the game with my head in my hands, like just looking down. I mean, there's it was pathetic to watch.
It's not fun. It's
that
not
being
fun.
That being said, the one thing that bothers me, it's as if people are just resigned to the fact that it is what it is. Things aren't getting better. We don't expect much. It's kind of like we just, there's no agencia. There's not that turmoil in that I would expect that turnout by the fan base to show their displeasure for how currently for how things are currently going. And it's bringing me to like all time like low. It's very deflating. Because I always knew that no matter what, things were going on the pitch, that people around the club are going to lift this club up, and look, through one way or another, we're going to get things right. And there was that will, that support. And now it's like, oh well, look, coach is new, president is new, we suck, but we have to support, and because if you don't support now, you're not a fan. Like, it's just like, man, stop judging people, do what you got to do. But at the end of the day, like, to me at least, I would wish there would be some. There's no ambition. It just
Chris, which leaves the question, and you bring up a great point in terms of the fan response and any action by the fans should be taken as regards of this phase by Benfica, that nobody's happy with it. At least I'm not. But how much do you think that the fan base is kind of resigned to what this Benfica is today, right? So a lack of pride, if you will, a lack of I don't know, I just don't think the players are in it. I
see.
think
Here's the thing that gets me annoyed about all that, right? We both use the same, expression, resigned, right? The fan base being resigned, but the thing that annoys me is the fan base was very boisterous when they didn't like JJ. They came out and they let it be known that they didn't like JJ.
What about the fan base that
passion was
welcomed
there?
JJ with the Tarja?
There was very few people that did that. But they came out in droves. They made their effort to let everyone know at Stade de Luz and the Benfica world that they didn't approve of JJ. They make it very clear when it's a player that, estrangeiro, that they don't like. They make it very clear that they don't. But now that shit's gone straight downhill, everybody's just, we have to understand that president is new. The coach is, where's that same freaking heart, that same love for wanting things to be corrected, man? One way, like, I could support you all day long when things are being done correctly, but when it's just a shit show with no direction, no one knows what the hell's going on, and everybody's just, hey, it's fine, there's always next year. And we're sitting here couple points up. Well, I don't even know, Dave, how many points are we ahead of Braga? I know we're 3 behind Sporting, but everybody's just resigned to, well, let's pack it in, let's develop these kids, let's see what kids need to play, what kids need to develop, forgetting in their mind that we need to win, because at the very least we need to be in that Champions League playoff, because we need that money to survive. Portuguese clubs need that Champions League money.
Don't
nine behind or 9 in ahead of Braga. 3.
Oh, we're 9 ahead of Braga. Damn, that's a
Yeah.
lot. I thought it was like 4. Oh, damn. Okay.
No, but this goes back also to something that you and Hugo mentioned when Verissimo was appointed, and he was appointed till the end of the season, right? What is the message that's being put out by doing that, right? We're gonna have this guy, he's gonna take care of the team for the rest of the season. And the message that passes is like, you have no ambition. or you're hoping that you could replicate the miracle that you had with Lage when you've already had Verisium at the helm of the team, and we all saw how that ended up, regardless of being 2 or 3 games, whatever it was. But certainly, there's a message that the club sends, right, by appointing Verisium. And I understand that if the guy that you want, or you weren't prepared to go out in the market, if the guy that you want does not want to come now, he wants to come in the beginning of the season, of next season, I should say. So maybe that was the point behind it. But certainly, there's a lot of people that understood that. I was like, okay, well, we're just gonna ride this out. We're gonna scrap this. We're done. We're gonna ride this out. And that was the kind of the message that a lot of people took when they saw Verisium's appointment. And on top of it, the fact that he was being appointed until the end of the season. So it wasn't even like, oh, he's gonna take care of while we search for a new manager. No, he's gonna go till the end of the season. And I made the argument here, and obviously playing devil's advocate, let the guy have the time to work, right? But if you don't have the capability of coaching a team, then why give you the chance? But anyway, 3 points. That's all it really mattered at Aroca, but it was ugly. Dave, stats.
It was real ugly. Let's try to get some positivity out of this game here. Darwin with his goal there brings his goal tally to 20 for the season. It matches, or it's a career high now for him with 20 goals this season. 15 goals scored in the league, making him the league's top goal scorer. And it was Benfica's first win away from home since December 12th, which last came against Famalicão.
Wow.
That's a positive.
we got to take all the positives that we can, Chris.
Yeah, I think look, as I was just here talking about nonsense and being depressed once again, and then you backed me up on that. I was thinking we need to, between the three of us, we need to make a pact between us, that we're gonna come on here, we're just gonna discuss the game, forget about on the field, because we're just gonna keep. I don't even. Can we
discuss the game and leave off the?
Leave that the coach sucks. We just look, the guy scored a goal. We won 1-0, and they kicked the ball. They moved around.
Yeah, let's
good. They wore the uniforms are beautiful. Yeah, their haircuts, their hairstyles were phenomenal. Yeah,
let's make a pact that we only bring up positive things. And
just talk about the game. Forget about the coaching. Forget about coaching moves. Just about the game itself. Everybody's phenomenal.
The grass at Aroca looked nice.
That's an improvement. It's Aveiro. It's not a Sur. Oh, damn.
Don't start, man. Don't start.
Come on. You know what I mean?
Don't start. But Cristiano,
what's up, bro?
20 goals by Darwin.
Phenomenal. I hope he scores another 20. That's awesome, bro. Hey, look, man, Darwin's taking huge strides. He's a lot better this year than he was last year.
Oh, he takes huge strides.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're not saying anything wrong there.
I hope he keeps scoring them, bro. He's with the national team now with Cavani and Luis Suarez. Hope he picks up a thing or two, just not the biting from Suarez, but he picks up all the other good stuff from these guys, and he comes back and he applies it in the Portuguese league and scores another 20, because Lord knows, the more he scores, the more exciting and then, it gets for other teams on the outside. So
yes, I mentioned there was a couple of comments that we'll talk about Paul Bernardo in the next game, but there was somebody asking about Rafa, where did Rafa go? And ever since JJ left, Rafa has just been non-existent.
Yeah.
But I think it plays a lot into the inconsistency that we see from Rafa at times, where he'll have a period of games where he will be absolutely unplayable. And then you will have these periods where it's just like, what happened to Rafa? And that's where he's going now. Maybe this COVID positive will provide a reset for him and he'll come back stronger. I don't know.
With our luck, it's one of those cases that he hangs around for like 8 months. There's cases around the world, where the fatigue stays around. Hopefully it's not that, bro. For the first.
Oh, it's still the fatigue from last season. That's what it is, right? They got the COVID fatigue from last season.
Yeah. So anyway, turning our attention now to the Taça da Liga semifinal that took place yesterday. against Boavista up in Leiria. Benfica coming into this game with we already mentioned Otamendi, Darwin, and Rafa absent. Otamendi and Darwin in the international duty, and then Rafa, obviously, the last-minute COVID test of the day before COVID test. So the lineup was Vlaco Dimos in goal, Lázaro, Morato, Vertonghen, Grimaldo across the back, Weigl, Bernardo, João Mário, Gonçalves on the right, Everton on the left, and Yaremchuk up front. I gotta be honest, I was enjoying Lázaro until yesterday. But I don't. Part of it I can blame Lázaro, and probably the other part I could blame Veríssimo, that he wasn't able to recognize that every attack by Boavista was coming down Lázaro's side, and he was getting beat. And for the life of me, I just couldn't understand why he didn't make the substitution in the second half to take Lázaro out when he saw that he was getting exposed left and right. But Cristiano, Lázaro coming into his own, getting a little bit of confidence, getting a little burn. What do you think? Positives. His hair looked wonderful.
He moved around.
He's got a little bit of Jenga to him.
It's been hard. It's been hard for that position at Benfica this year, regardless of who you put in there. Through suspensions and injuries, these guys, in order to be at their best, we all know, man, they have to get consistent minutes, they have to get consistent game after game, and that hasn't been the case. We all expected a little bit more from Lázaro than what he's shown this year. But is it because he's playing out of position? I don't know. I did expect a little bit more as well. But, again, the guy needs to consistently play. And once he gets a good streak of games, 5-6 games under his belt on a consistent basis, then maybe he gets closer to the type of player that he's, supposed to be. And hopefully he can help Benfica along the way. Yeah, he looked bad in some times, but at other times I thought he looked decent as well. So it's about confidence, about playing and even what's his name? Gilberto, when he's played at times, he's looked good. He's looked horrible. Andre Almeida, I mean, I don't have to say it. Gonçalves now, it seems that Veríssimo has decided that that experiment, that he's no longer right back, that experiment is over. So he's playing him a lot further up the field. It's difficult to really gauge what's going on right now, because these players, I think we've touched on this in earlier podcasts, which is a fact. I aside from Darwin, right? There's really no one, and maybe someone. I mean, Rafa's playing off the hook, right? But he's back to his normal self. There's really no one that's playing better this year than they were last year. It's like guys haven't picked up their game, and we talked about that.
I'd make the argument for Gilberto, just how.
Oh yeah, of course.
He was a huge, had an awful year last year.
Yeah, tremendous. I mean, that guy looks like looks like a superstar this year as opposed to last year. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, what I'm saying, Alfred, he's made a huge improvement, and you're absolutely right, Dave. But for the most part, everybody else is just, you know what I'm saying. And Lázaro is another one of those guys that, whether it was with JJ, it's now with this coach. No players really evolved. I mean, Rafa was playing well under JJ. That was about the only guy. Rafa and Darwin and Gilberto. They're about the only guys that were playing above their weight. And it's just, regardless of who the coach is, it seems like there's a disconnect. It seems like whomever it is, they can't get the best out of these players. And there's no identity. There's no creativity. There's just, hey, we're here to play the game. And, it feels like at times these players feel that the shirt itself is going to win a game just because you're wearing that shirt. That's going to give you the result. But unfortunately, other clubs don't have the respect that they once had for Benfica, and everybody just comes on top of Benfica. It's as if it's amazing. It's really amazing to watch this play out. But yeah, I mean, to answer your question shortly, yeah, Lázaro looked bad at moments. He also looked decent at other moments. But again, I can't really get on a guy that doesn't get the consistent minutes. Yeah. And is that because of injury? Obviously, yes. But is that also because when he does play, he has moments like he did in this one game where he wasn't very good?
Yeah, I mean, I found myself at times, as the ball is on the near side and Lázaro is on the far side, and somebody would bring the ball back to the middle. He didn't push up to get the width of the field or get behind the left back on that side. And I was like, what the hell are you doing? You just stood there. So I don't know if he was just out of gas or if he was, Michael Gonçalves was saying that was it Gore was on his side and it prevented him from stepping up. But certainly there was times where Benfica was circulating the ball and they were bringing the ball from one side to the other. And once it hit that middle, whether it was Otamendi, I'm sorry, not Otamendi, or Vertonghen or Moratu or Weigl, and they were looking for somebody on the far side, and Lázaro was flat. He was square, which is like, well, how do you go and take the game to that side when you don't have an outlet on that side? And it was just like, it was one of those things, man. And Veríssimo, I just don't understand. And somebody was saying, it was Raining Entertainment. He was saying, what's with Gil Diaz and Grimaldo on the same side?
Well, look, I had this conversation with somebody yesterday on the phone. Let's not forget, Gil Diaz is not a legit, but like a natural left back. It's a guy that started out as a winger. And he's another guy that JJ was adapting. So I guess he just said, yo, opa, tu quer jogar no Benfica? Listen, the only way you can play as a left back. And now this coach come in, and he's trying to put everybody back in their natural positions. That's why you get a Grimaldo and a Gil Diaz, because Gil Diaz is more of a winger or midfielder than he is a defender. So make of it what you want.
For me, Gil Diaz doesn't have the quality to play for Benfica, and obviously I know that Cristiano, you have a soft spot for him being
my hometown, bro. Leave the guy alone.
But he's probably another one of those deals where we paid too much for him, and the commission ended up in somebody's pocket.
Yeah, but look, I had this conversation with Hugo, and I have to say this: is Gil Diaz giving you anything? No, he hasn't. But this is part of what I was saying just 10 minutes ago, Dave. This is the shit that pisses me off, is that people have the energy to go out and criticize Gil Diaz, a guy that's played 180 minutes all year long, but yet the guys that played 2,000 minutes, nobody has a balls to say anything about those guys. Like, if Benfica's biggest problem was Gil Diaz, we'd be a whole lot better position than where we are right now.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm done.
I mean, do we need to talk about the game? At least a better first half than second half by Benfica, but even by Benfica standards, the first half was piss poor.
Well, Benfica was consistent. The 4 shots they had on goal in the first half, or 3 shots, whatever it was, at least they were dangerous shots. They got them on goal. That's important, And look, they got lucky with the mishap at the back, and Everton did what he had to do. Took the ball, nice finish. Hey, praise for that. But there wasn't a whole much
after that.
It was just.
No, I remember that combination play, which is probably one of the highlights of the first half, that found Yaremchuk right between the top of the 18 and the penalty box, and he just couldn't finish it. That was in the 8th minute, and then Everton had a chance in the 40th minute that he couldn't put away. But after that was really all that Benfica did that first half. The second half was atrocious. 53rd minute, we conceded the tying goal and a dumb rookie mistake by Moratu. We can't forget that this kid is only 20. But obviously, if you want to start for Benfica, you got to play at a higher level, and your mental focus needs to be there. And I think it was just something. I don't know. He just got too aggressive, and I think he lost place of where he was in the box. I don't know. It was just one of those weird things. So, and then after that, after the 1-1, it's just like, it was just agarra. Ai meu Deus, alguém ajude-me. It was just one of those things, man. I don't understand. And then every single substitution that Veríssimo made had no consequence on the game. And time after time, he's making substitutions, he's making decisions on the bench with no consequence at all. If anything, it just worsens the team. And it's just awful, man. I don't know how I have the courage to watch this Benfica. And Chris knows that I didn't watch the game live, and I was watching the game last night, and I told him I'm getting ready to watch the game, and he said, "Don't do it, bro.
Don't do it, man. Save it too." I mean, that second half. Again, it's one thing to be playing these games, and we know we're not in a good stretch. We know we're not,
the Benfica that we all expect. And it's one thing to get dominated by a Sporting or a Porto or even a Braga, but not Boa Vista, bro. I mean, they manhandled us in the second half, and it was
Oh
like
yeah.
Vlaco Dim was a guy who I criticize often. You know, dude stood on his head. You know, hockey terms there, Dave. Stood on his head. I mean, he had,
Yeah, he has a couple.
he had a really good game, and he's the one that prevented the embarrassment. He's really the guy to thank for all this. And it's
Yeah.
just the club. we can't defend, we can't press, we can't come out of the back with the ball, we can't play long. I mean, it's just I think you, Alfredo, you're a guy that's usually good with words, and I credit you, brother. Agarrat. That's the
It's just one of those things, man. You strap in, you know you're in for a rough one. But I think that anytime a goalie or our goalie is nominated for man of the match, then you know how the match has gone, right? Especially with against Portuguese opposition. Obviously, if you're in Europe and you're playing against Real or Barcelona or Bayern, then that's a different story. Or Dortmund, like that performance that Ederson had, that was probably his best career game ever. But against the Portuguese league, man, your keeper is the man of the match. Come on, what's wrong with that picture, man? But certainly he kept us in the game, and it's just
there was a bunch of moments in that second half that I kept asking myself, bro, are these guys from that good, or we just making them look that good? I didn't know. I was like, I didn't know. I honestly, I didn't know how to evaluate things.
I did. No, it's just yeah, and I get it, man. And Chico Morcelino is saying, "Hi guys, this Benfica is probably playing worse football than JJ one." I agree. I have to agree, regardless of whether we weren't really pleased. Yeah, we weren't really pleased with JJ. It certainly was better than this. Even though it was bad, but it was better.
For me, it's easy to say it was better on their JJ because JJ played a Delta up. This guy don't even play him, so for that alone, by default, that's it. It's worse.
Let's talk about and you and I, Cristiano, we had a conversation today, and you were saying you watched the match and you don't see what Paulo Bernardo brings to the team that everybody's clamoring that he has to start every game.
It's not I don't see what he brings to the team. I just don't see what everybody's goo gaga over. That's what I'm saying.
I think that anytime that there's a Seixal product, people exaggerate a little bit in terms of what the expectations are, and they're also very protective. I mean, we talk here all the time about the guys that come from Seixal getting a lot more benefit of the doubt than if it was Seferovic, for example. Gonçalo Ramos and Seferovic, Dave has mentioned that all the time, where we have a lot more patience for Gonçalo Ramos, which hasn't done much, while we don't really have a lot of patience for Seferovic. We're very quick to crucify Seferovic. But yeah, it's just Paulo Bernardo, and I mentioned to you, Cristiano, that I know that he hasn't brought a lot to the team, but I still rather see him in that midfield three than Taarabt. Of course, you have a soft spot for Taarabt, much like you have for Gil Dias. But for me, I think that Bernardo brings more to the team than Taarabt.
Bro, what's he bring? The guy touches the ball 3 times a half. I don't care how much time, he gets in the passing lane. He doesn't get it. Oh, because he covers Lazaro time. Well, Lazaro made a run on the inside, and he said, it's all fantastic. I mean, great. That's part of the game. You play that position. You play in the midfield. It doesn't matter who it is, whether it's him, whether it's me, whether it's you. Those are the things that you have to do in a game. I just don't see where I just don't see the player that everyone's clamoring for. Oh my God! Oh, Paulo Bernardo mais 10. I mean,
I'm not on that boat.
Yo, the next Rui Costa. Why? The only thing about him that Rui Costa is the black hair. He was tall and he comes from Seixal. Well, there was no Seixal Rui Costa came. But you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I'm not saying he's a bad player. I just don't think he's ready today to be that player and I'm not saying he's not going to be that player. I just don't think he's that player that everyone is saying that he is. That, like, oh my God, in the second, Benfica B, who's tearing it up. Yeah, so was Gonçalo Ramos. Gonçalo Ramos scored like 8 goals in like 6 games. I mean, so what? It's a totally different beast. There's levels to this.
Different speeds.
Paulo Bernardo,
Fine. You want to tell me he's special? I haven't seen any of that. I need a guy, for a special guy, I need a guy that comes into the pitch and takes command of the ball, wants the ball, gets the ball, is involved. Not a guy that's touching the ball 4 or 5 times a half, and half of those passes he's passing it backwards. And again, I get it. The game is not just going forward all the time. Sometimes you have to alleviate pressure. I get it, but come on. Look,
But
I know a thing or two about playing the game, but come on, you got to give me more.
But Chris, I'll offer this food for thought, right? I don't think he's used to playing in a midfield triangle. I think he's used to playing with a 2-man midfield setup. At least that's how he was playing in the B.
Why don't they play a 4-3-3 in the B? It's the same thing. They're applying a 4-3-3 now.
But I think that he plays a little different. I think that when you play by yourself in the middle, along with a destroyer or a guy behind you, you get a lot more touches than when he's playing him and João Mario, and both him and João Mario have to share the same amount of touches, or in this case, João Mario gets a lot more touches because he makes himself more available. But I think that he's more used to playing as a 2-man midfield than a 3-man midfield, I think. But look, I think
Alfredo, you're confusing me, buddy. But if he plays in a 4-3-3, he's playing in a 3-man midfield. It's not a 2-man midfield. I'm confused. I'm not.
The few times that I've seen him in the B team, he was playing with another guy in the midfield.
In this case, he's playing with 2 guys.
He wasn't really in a triangle like he is now. Because right now he's in an inverted triangle with both him and João Mario.
It's the same coach applying the same tactics.
Yeah,
it's a 4-3-3.
But I think that the 4-3-3 was a little different in Verissimo's case when he was in the B, and I think that he got more touches as a result.
Maybe he's in a different role in the terms of, look, we got to get the ball through him. Maybe that. I just don't see. I mean, in a 4-3-3, it's a 4-3-3. You're gonna play. You know what I mean? Unless you have the 3 guys lined up like we would in a U7 game, you guys stay side by side. But maybe he has a different function where João Mario has a little bit more say. I get that, but still, I need a guy that gets me involved. I need a guy. Look, he had a nice interaction, quick one-timer to it might have been Yarmchuk or somebody in the box. He was on top of the box. Then he had another long pass. It was a little bit long, but still, I saw the vision. There's definitely flashes there. You know what I mean? I'm not saying the guy can't play, but I just don't think he can play today to the level that Benfica needs these guys to play today in order to get results. This is why we struggle in against the likes of Aroca, against the likes of Boavista. Not because Paulo Bernardo sucks. It's just that Paulo Bernardo today, we're talking about today, is at the level of those guys at Boavista. So then the game's a lot more even than what it should be.
Yeah.
Because if Benfica was playing the guys that they should be playing, like meaning the caliber of Benfica player that it takes, that it's a special player, the difference in quality between a Benfica player and an Aroca player would be, a blind person could see it. But right now, it's just these guys are at the same level as the other guys. Therefore, it's about effort now. Now, when we're at the same level, Alfredo, you and I at the same level, now it becomes about effort.
Yeah, I think that Michael Gonçalves brings up a good point, and I think that sometimes when I'm watching these games, I'm so blinded in terms of the numbness that things escape me. But he's mentioning something that at some point, so instead of the inverted triangle, it was the real triangle. So he's playing a little lower and João Mario was a little bit higher up. Look, I don't know, man. I just it's pointless to sit here and criticize players when you really don't think that the coach has the acumen and the know-how to make the changes that will make a difference.
See, Alfredo, but this is the coach that had this player playing at this elite level that everyone's raving about on the B team. So he knows them better than anybody else.
Yep. But listen, if you watch the B team and you watch this team, completely different teams. Not the tactical setup, but the effort. There was at one point that I was watching the B team and it was deep into the game, maybe like 80th, high 80s, that there was a defensive transition and Benfica got at least 8 players behind the ball on a defensive transition that they had to do. And you don't see that level of effort from this team. So I mean, you could compare the two basically on their tactical setup, but in terms of the effort that the teams play in, two completely different teams. But anyway, let's wrap this game up. So the game ended 1-1. Then we went to penalties. Um, and Boavista missed the first three penalties. So well, two misses, one saved by Vlaco Dimos to start the penalty shootout. Benfica was able to get three on net with Pizzi missing, Vertonghen hitting the post. I mean, that Pizzi penalty, and I was talking to you earlier about the Pizzi penalty, man. Fuck. That's just I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but just that emanates of a guy that he's not really there anymore. And it's been like the guy doesn't start. He's no longer there. He's just I don't know. He's just not a part of this team. I don't know, man.
Ah, man, look, Dave. We talked about this when the photo came out with the arms crossed, right? Now the guy misses. Look, I just think Pizzi is in a shit situation right now. I really do think it's best he packs his bags and he finds someone, because right now it just gotten to the point where he's been involved, at least rumored, right? Involved in he's rumored to have been involved or allegedly involved in sackings and sabotages and whatever. Then now everything the guy does, right? It's going to here's the picture. Everything the guy does is gonna be looked under the microscope. And look, I like to think that as a professional player, bro, as a player in general, especially you bum ass defenders that never got to score, you take a penalty, bro, you want to convert it. And then every player wants to score a goal. That's why you play the game. I like to think the dude wasn't really purposely trying to miss a penalty. I just think, look, he does that stutter step, and the goalies have figured him out. They read him, and look, he guessed wrong, or the goalie guessed right.
Yeah, but at least put it to the side net of whatever side you're gonna hit it. Don't hit it kind of like half between the halfway mark and the post, which is awful. It's the worst penalty you could hit. Worse than even hitting down the middle.
I got praised one time. I tried to go up or 90 left, but it was raining. I don't know if it was raining on my nerves, and I went straight down the middle. But the goalie dove to that side. Everybody was like, "You tricked the goalie." And I was like, "Yeah," and it was straight down the middle. What I mean? It happens. Mistakes happen. I can't believe I'm the guy giving them the benefit of the doubt here. But bro, shit happens. You know what I mean? Penalties you miss. Benzema missed one this weekend. There's Messi. I think the ball's still traveling. Might be passing the Statue of Liberty, the one from a couple finals ago. It happens, bro. I honestly don't think he was doing it because, bro, Alfredo, you play, bro. You nunca marcaram golinho, pá. Vai chegar ali falhar por I don't think so. I don't think so.
Nothing surprises me about Pizzi anymore. And Gonçalves brings up a great point. He came in for the penalties and he missed.
Yeah, that goes to show you the shit. But
he had that one shot before the game was over where
the goalkeeper
he hit the ball and the ball looked like it was
kind
going
of at the
one way.
Keeper, though, too, right in the middle of the net.
Yeah, but the keeper had to make an adjustment because he was going one way and the ball ended up going, swerving a little bit to the other side. So you see the goalie's body going one way and then he corrects his hands to go another way and he saved that. But anyway.
But look, I'll tell you, just to wrap it up, I'll tell you this much. On that one shot that you're talking about where the goalie mishandled like Vlaco Dimos with there and the ball went over the net, he was fortunate and, come back down or whatever, go in. It's easy to criticize Pizzi and a lot of shit, but I look, he had three guys in front of him, and the fact he got that shot off as quick as he did, man.
Was that a second
being
shot
serious.
of the game?
No, but that's fine. But there's a lot, bro. Believe me, there's not a lot of players that could get the ball turned and shoot with that. All in rhythm. Look, he's got his ups and downs, and it's just like I said. I think right now, because of his current situation, I think it just nobody is really going to give the guy a second chance because of all the stuff that he's rumored to have been involved in. So.
Yeah,
I think this summer there'll be some serious thinking.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you. I think that if Boavista wins this game, I wouldn't be too surprised because I think they did enough in the second half to win the game. To be honest with you,
Who?
Boavista.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. So the fact that we were able to squeeze that out in the PKs, fortunate for us. But certainly, I think that Boavista has to feel a little bit hard done when when we see the result. And Chico Marcelino said, "What do you guys think of the new trend of Pizzi getting booed by Benfiquistas when he steps in?" I don't know. The same way I feel about right after JJ was fired, that Benfica went to, was it Porto? Yeah, Benfica
Yeah,
went
Gaia,
to Porto,
And it was
and he was coming
weird
out of
for
the
him.
bus, and people were applauding him because apparently he had been the catalyst that created this whole JJ gone, and people were applauding him, and now people, people boo him. Look, I'm not a boo bird, and I'm not. I think that that players deal with their own sets of circumstances, and I think that as a Benfiquista, you have to support your team regardless. And I think that booing players or going on players' social media and just cursing them out and talking.
See, that's not right. I don't
yeah.
believe that should happen. But I'll tell you this much: I've touched on this here on this podcast multiple times over the years, and I'll go back to it. The problem I find in Portugal and in Spain and all these leagues is, for those of you that live in North America and follow North American sports and even the MLS, right? You see after every game, reporters go into the locker room and they ask these guys tough questions. And guys know they're gonna have tough questions. There's gonna be articles written about them. If guys don't perform, there's gonna be tons of pressure by not just the fans but the media themselves, and they're gonna have to answer questions to somebody. And in Europe, in Benfica, these guys are isolated. They don't talk to a reporter. They lose the game 5-0. They win the game 5-0. They go from the field to the tunnel to the locker room to the bus, escorted to Seychelles in their car, boom, boom. There's nothing. There's no, like, these guys should have to answer to people, because at the end of the day, it's a reporter's job. A reporter speaks for you, the fan, right? They should be having to answer questions after these terrible performances. Put a microphone in the captain's face, Pizzi and André Almeida. Ouve lá, como é que é? Então, Benfica muda de treinadores, isto não melhora, como é que se passa aqui? Like, somebody should be having to answer these tough questions, and nobody's answering them. We get a press conference from an interview from our president, and there's really no tough questions about on the field, what's going on today. It's about projects and train stations and airports and malls and God knows what else. We need to know why isn't this team improving? Why have we spent the tons of money that we spent over the last 2 seasons? And these players aren't, like, again, we talked about it 30 minutes ago. There's 3 players that we're playing. Rafa's gone missing again. But there's 3 players that are playing above their weight. What's the reason? You get everything handed to you. You have the best conditions in the country. You have everything at your disposal. Why aren't you playing to the levels that you're supposed to be playing? Nobody has to answer those questions. So at the end of the day, these guys, hey, oh well, it's cool. I'm going home tonight. There's nothing.
There's no accountability.
There's no accountability.
Nobody's being held accountable for what's going on. And the one person that had a chance to come out to the fans and say something, rather talk about Cidade do Benfica and this whole big project and this and that. It's just, for me, I'm going to continue watching this team, but for me, this season is done. We now have the final against Sporting this Saturday.
There needs to be questions, Alfredo.
Yeah.
Why do we get guys that don't fit what our idea?
Well, we
why
all
do we
know
get a bunch
why.
of misfits? Why aren't, like, I see people in the chat criticizing Yaremchuk, and agreed, he hasn't played anywhere near what we all expect. How can you criticize a guy that the team doesn't play for the striker? This is a guy that clearly, watch him play for 10 minutes, and you could clearly tell, bro, his best attribute is inside the box. He's there to be a finisher. The guy's playing with the ball at midfield. Like, bro, come on, dude.
Yep.
Like, it's fine. You sucks. Good. Sell him. Good. Let him go score 15, 20 goals in the Serie A somewhere. And then you're all going to say, shit, man, this guy was decent. Bro, we don't, our wingers, it's Darwin on one side, Rafa, and they're looking to score themselves. They're not looking to set anybody up.
Yeah.
Our midfield, there's no creativity.
No,
There's
it's all
nothing.
it's all effed up, man.
There's no. The questions need to be posed. What is the project?
What's
What
the
is
game
the
plan?
idea?
What's
What's
the
the
game plan?
plan? What are we doing? Are we building a team to play a 4-3-3? Then get players for 4-3-3. Don't get players a 4-4-2, and all of a sudden you're applying a 3-4-3, 3-5-2, now a 4 para joguem, 4 whatever, pressing e joguem. Dude, it's just there's nothing. It's like you're trying to make the bangingest paella with vegetables, no seafood. Like it don't happen, bro.
No, Sheik Marcelin is asking if you prefer Vinny or Yaremchuk.
Based on what we've seen, it's Vinny. But again, I don't think that the book is closed on Yaremchuk.
No, I as a matter of fact, I actually liked. I thought he played well against Boavista. Again, as Michael Gonçalves says, if you're by yourself and you don't get fed the ball, you're not going to do anything. You're not going to create chances. But I thought he was good. There was a few plays that I really enjoyed the way he combined with the guys from the midfield. There was on a longer ball from Vlaco Dimos, he won a header, which put Everton on a break or something like. I really enjoyed it, and I think that he's growing. We also can't forget that he had that language barrier with JJ, and but Verissimo now he speaks English.
And
So
even
there
under JJ, when
be.
when Benfica played their best was when Yaremchuk was on the field because he was able to drop back, drag defenders with him, play off 1-2. Yeah, it's not showing up on the score sheet. You're not seeing his name. You're not seeing him score goals. But how do you expect a striker to score goals when his job, when at least he's being asked, to come back, drop into the midfield, get the ball? I mean, think about it. For those of you that watch Portuguese soccer over the years, Mario Jardel was an absolute monster, a killer for Porto and Sporting inside the box. I don't recall at Porto or Sporting that guy touching the ball ever if he wasn't in the
He was just in the box.
The guy never touched the ball. You never seen him come back.
He lived in a box. He lived in a box next to the lines.
It's called having a freaking clue, Alfredo. It's called having an idea. You put your players in the best position possible to be successful. You don't take a striker and make him a center back. You don't put a center back as striker and expect them to have the same results. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, and I'm the argument is not that Vinicius is better than Yaremchuk or Yaremchuk is better than Vinicius. The argument is that there's players with distinct characteristics that they just don't fit in the plan that the coaches plan out, the game idea. So Dave, you could look up real quick before we move on to the next one. What have Vinicius done at PSV this year?
Oh, I've got that up actually. He's got 5 goals scored in 22 games.
Yeah, I mean, five goals.
Who's that?
Vinicius.
In their division.
At PSV.
And you got in the tough fast year, and you guys are still. I mean, listen.
Yeah, I mean,
I would take him off today.
He doesn't have a starting spot. He hasn't cemented that starting spot there at PSV.
No, but look, I do agree with you, Chico Marcelin, that it's poor sports management in terms of having guys and sending them out on loan. But look, when you're talking about you had 4-5 forwards in your roster. Somebody has to go, and guess what? The guy that has the most market, or that we could get somebody to pay his wages, is the guy that's going to go.
And sadly, based on what we've seen this year, the best one suited to play this style of football that we played all
Vinicius.
Year. No,
but Vinicius would have been suited.
No.
Who?
The guy that everyone was questioning why he was Rodrigo Pinho. He's the guy that had the best touch of all of them.
I agree with you.
He could get the ball, turn around. So
I agree
that's
with
the
you.
guy that so that goes to show out of the 5, he was probably the 5th option, and that was our best. At least in terms of fans, right? Because they all, esquece. I think Pinho was at least quality wise, and I'm not saying he's fantastic, but football wise, right? The way he plays, the way he likes to get the ball, play with his back to the goal, could pick out a pass. He was the guy best suited for that.
Dave, we have any Boavista stats, or can we just move on?
I mean, we got some. I don't know how positive these ones are going to be, but we'll try to get some positive ones. First goal by Everton since November 15th, which came against Passos. So he snapped a 2-month goal spell there. Everton third straight game that Benfica's had with only 4 shots on net. So third straight game there.
Consistency, baby. It's important to have
There you
success.
go. Put a positive spin on it. I was looking at it with the glass half full. You said consistent. It's a glass
Full. No, you were looking half empty.
No,
I'm looking half full.
there you
Yeah,
go.
I'm still.
There we go.
We're like Benfica. We're all discombobulated.
Benfica headed to the final now. First time since 2016. 8th time that they've made the Taça da Liga final. Now.
Yeah. Saturday, 7:45 local, also being held in Leiria, which is where the final four for the Taça Liga is held. Last time, as I mentioned at the top of the program, Benfica played Sporting in the Taça Liga final was 13 years ago. Cristiano, let's do this exercise. Cristiano and Dave. This exercise. I'll give you the lineup.
Epa.
The lineup for that game. And we could both say whether or not those guys will be starters in this team.
13 years ago?
13 years ago.
Yes. I don't even.
I'll set it up. I'll set it up.
So what's the over/under on how many?
No.
I'm
Wait
gonna
a
say
second.
like at least 7. Without knowing the lineup, I'm gonna say at least 7 would be.
I'm gonna say 11. 11.
Okay.
But let me set the stage. Right.
Right, set it up.
Kike Flores was the coach at that time.
But yo, that hair to beard is definitely an upgrade. 100%.
He didn't have the beard back in the day.
But now he does. He's
ready?
Yeah,
on goal. Kim Cristiano. Kim or Vlaco Dimos? I gotta start at the goal, man.
Pois é, tem razão. That's how you do it. I thought it was Paulo Bernardo mais 10. I saw you started from the weather.
Kim or Vlaco? Does Kim start over Vlaco Dimos?
Vlaco.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go with recency bias on that. I'll go with.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Vlaco also.
But he can hold on to the ball better. So all right, leave it at that.
Old school.
At right back, Maxi or Lázaro.
Maxi pad all day.
Dave.
I go with Maxi as well.
I'm gonna go with Maxi also.
But
center back pairing: Luizão and David Luiz.
Oh,
easy, right?
Yeah.
Left back. I take whoever it was. I don't know where it was. Emerson. What up?
Miguel Vitor.
Hey, at left back.
He either played left. He either played in the center.
I know.
And David Luiz played left back, or Miguel Vitor played left back. Or Maxi played left back. Yeah,
Grimaldo.
I would have to go with Grimaldo also. In the midfield, Katsuranis or Weigl?
Weigl.
Yeah, I guess Weigl.
I'm gonna go with Weigl also.
Peraí. So 1, 2, 3. 3 right now.
3, that's 3. I said 7.
3.
Also in the midfield, Amorim and Aimar. So João Mário and Paulo Bernardo, and Amorim and Aimar.
Esquece. Amorim só por ser treinador fantástico. Come on, Aimar by himself, man. Esquece lá. Epa.
So Amorim and Aimar over João Mário and Paulo Bernardo.
You have to repeat it like to make sure, bro. We're certain.
Make sure.
Dave. I'm certain. You certain, Dave?
Put it in.
And then we had Reis or Cebolinha.
Top. I'll say my boy Reis. May he rest in peace. Reis all day.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. Reis also. And then up front.
Peraí, que joga na direita?
Era 4-4-2. 4-4-2.
Então era o Amorim, Aimar no meio. Oh, Katsarunis and
Katsarunis, Aimar in the middle, Amorim on the right.
Sim.
Reis.
Sim.
Up front, Nuno Gomes and Suazo.
Well, we had nobody this time, so those guys went out. We had nobody.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 out of the 11 back in 13 years ago would start for this team. I thought
Suazo was gonna. I thought Suazo when he came from Italy, I thought he was gonna be good because he was stupid fast. And I thought with Aimar, I thought he'd better get. And he was
Suazo was ridiculous. He just had injury problems.
Yeah.
He was. Yeah. I don't even know how Benfica ever got Suazo.
He wasn't good at Benfica though.
but he was good before that.
He had some games that he was
Yeah,
really good.
Sheik was asking about Di Maria.
Di Maria came off the bench.
Banquinho, pá.
Di Maria came off the bench.
Yeah, Suazo was fantastic in Italy at Benfica. He scored like 4 goals or whatever. He wasn't.
Yeah, but he was
really
hurt.
good.
He was hurt a lot.
Same. He wasn't really good.
He was hurt a lot. And then I don't know if you guys recall that game. That was the game that
The ball went through the goal.
The ball hit the chest, and they thought it was a handball or something.
And it went through Rui Frangueiro's legs.
No, that wasn't. I forget
That wasn't
what
the one.
I forget what it was.
I don't remember, bro.
Dave, see if you could bring up that game. We could watch the
Are we allowed
highlights.
to share it?
Oh no, you're right. Well, but if it's on YouTube, let's share it. Fuck it.
We get
The video
suspended.
gets taken. If the video gets taken down, gets taken down. But there's always the audio
suspended.
version.
It's too bad
See
they
if
don't
you-
suspend Benfica's game.
So 13 years ago is what? Do the math. real quick.
2009 Liga
2009.
final, right?
Yeah, 2009. Yeah, put on. See if you have extended highlights. We could watch those together.
Oh my
But
goodness.
7 minutes. Is that too long?
Let's do it. 7 minutes.
7
Okay.
minutes. You definitely looking to get suspended, bro. Things are that bad that you don't even want to watch. You don't even want to come on here week after
We're
week.
looking
right?
for
You just- you
excuses to get
praying to
taken
get
off
suspended.
YouTube here.
Let's go. There we go.
Olha aí.
Oh, Benfica TV, pera.
Rosenberg.
We're good.
Epa, do nosso. Olha aí, do nosso. Como é que se diz? Do nosso Alcochetinho, e Liv de Polga, Carriço. Que pá, só craques, olha ali.
This was at Algarve.
Yeah.
Estádio do Algarve. That's what it looks like. You got the two conch. Nuno Gomes, Soares, Aymar, Reis, Amorim,
Oh, Luis on
Caturranes,
the
David
left
Luiz.
back.
Yeah, David Luiz was the left back.
Who's
What?
Justin Ribeiro?
João
Who else?
Ribeiro?
J. Ribeiro.
No, João Ribeiro. That was Maniche's brother, I think. No?
It wasn't
No,
Miguel
it's Miguel,
Vitor.
it's Miguel Vitor. Deixa eu ver. All right, so
Tá
we
lixado.
got Nuno Gomes. You got
Olha o Tiago
Amorim,
na baliza.
Katsuranis, Miguel
Miguel
Vitor. That
Vitor.
was
That's Miguel
Miguel
Vitor.
Vitor, yeah.
Is he known by something else?
That was the year that the league decided to come up with that funky ass ball, yellow with red circles.
I like yellow balls. I like yellow balls.
Can you guys hear the
As
commentary
opposed to
or
what?
no?
Blue
No.
balls? No. That's okay.
I never had those, bro.
Look at
fortunately. But I like-
look at Aymar. Look at Nuno Gomes. Oh,
Não fala mal do Nuno Gomes, sou amigo dele, pá. Não fala mal.
Rochenbach. David Luiz. Look at King.
Oh,
Punch
King. Ai. Vlaco, was that King or Vlaco Dimos? Peraí. Go, play the tape back.
That was King.
Olha aí, Mike.
Uh,
Who's that? Who had it?
we ever have crosses like that anymore?
Oh,
Ma-
it's
El
Mexican.
Mono. El Mono.
Oh, grande passo, pá. Grande passo. Who's that?
Oh,
Hey, no,
They
pal.
save
David
off the
Luiz.
line,
Look at that.
David
What's you
Luiz
guys say he
saving
can't
that.
play no defense? You guys are crazy. Olha aí. Oh, o quê? Aquilo foi virado ao guarda-repa. Não
Ah, it's
sejas
good.
um desses,
It's good
man.
shot, man.
Oh,
Nunca
olha
sabes,
o
man. Nunca
Tiago.
sabes, man.
Nome de craque. Nunca sabes. Pois, pode estar lá um... Olha aí. Esquerdino, Katsarunis. Shower is left.
don't
where's
know
the
who that was.
controversy coming up?
Oh,
don't
it's
know.
at the end, dude, I
It's-
think.
Mhm.
Oh, Reyes.
Oh,
Reyes.
você... Damn. That thing. Olha o
Moutinho.
Moutinho.
I can't believe Moutinho's still playing, dude.
Grande Kim, pá.
Fez
See?
para a fotografia.
Saved it and to the side, not like other people we know. Save it, put it in front.
Oh,
Dave,
what's
what are you
going on
doing?
here?
Your internet
What's
free
going on
zone. We've been barred.
YouTube's giving me a
Olha aí,
warning.
esse é o craque, o melhor jogador em campo. Olha aí.
You know who that guy is? Lucílio Batista.
Olha. E00 primeira Carlsberg Cup.
Primeira parte.
That's what it's called, the beer
That's
cup.
what it was
See?
called,
Taça da
Carlsberg.
cerveja.
Taça da cerveja. That's right.
Oh,
That's
look.
where it comes from.
He's getting his instructions from Pinto Costa. I mean,
Lucílio
sorry.
Batista.
Olha aí, craque.
This is a flashback, dude.
Pitch
I
wasn't
was-
in great.
I
That's
was-
no, that was a highlight.
We di-
This is second
Hey,
half now.
grande pass.
What a
Who's that?
touch.
Capel. Remember that Capel? Came from Sevilla. Oh, what a save.
Oh,
There you go.
Oh,
Sporting on the board first.
Epa. David Luiz was there, bro. Camp. No, I'm just-
Sporting on the
Who scored? Who's that?
Rocha-
12.
Oh,
I don't even know. Isso
didn't-
no. I like those. What? This Benfica TV? You're gonna get 15 replays of the Benfica goals.
TV,
Since Sporting, you got one.
TV Benfica.
Oh, TV é isso, TV Benfica. Olha aí. José Reyes.
Jose Reyes. Look how far that guy is on the wall.
oh,
Ei, no.
Who's that?
O
Luizão
girafa na
on the-
trave.
Luizão on crossbar.
Girau, you're gonna get a replay of this, right? Epa! Olha ali.
Rochenbach hit these long distance shots, free kicks.
He grabbed it.
Easy for Key. Easy for Key. There's another service.
Hey, grande
Easy-
defesa. pá.
Easy save.
Was that os Katsarunis? Ai. Penal.
That was Di Maria. Di Maria.
Penal.
that was
Without
already
the
the
VAR.
Hey, olha, deu
Without the
penal.
VAR.
penalty. Oh yeah, that was.
Eu.
This was the
No,
one.
eu.
This was the one. This is the one that hits his chest. I think. Yeah, it's his
Yeah.
chest, and he called the
That's
penalty.
And that shit was outside the box.
The Lagartos cried for years about this.
Yeah, and it looks like
Yo,
he's just outside
yeah,
the
that's
it's right
not
off
a
the
penalty.
chest, dude.
That's not a penalty, bro.
Yeah.
Hey,
And,
Hey,
we ended up winning because of that controversial call. This was the tying goal, I think.
Olha o Yebda.
Oh,
My
Yebda,
man,
yeah.
Yebda. Epa. He went on to play in Italy. May have a successful career there.
We were gonna do that 10-year anniversary special of
We
the
will.
Oh yeah,
the
we're supposed to do
Monkush
it.
and the
We're gonna
best
do that.
starting 11.
We're gonna do that.
You got to give me some
Um,
time to prepare. Go through the yearbooks.
Michael's saying you guys don't see goalies do what Keane used to do. You would save the ball while running forward. Was so weird.
Onde é que andou o Hugo? O abre Hugo. Hugo já foi embora. O Hugo é que era.
Hugo
Ele
wasn't
gostava-
here.
Yeah, he was.
He was. He
Oh,
made
here's
some
the
comments.
penalties.
O Hugo gostava muito destes árbitros nestes tempos.
Lucílio Batista.
Olha aí.
His penalties. Benfica won
O
on penalties.
Palito, olha o Palito. Olha.
Ooh.
Olha,
Ooh.
olha.
Até o se o Pizzi falha, o Pablito também falha.
Não. Olha os gajos. Pai, não. Olha,
Rochenbach.
Rochenbach. Pum!
Mm.
Grande aqui, pá.
His hands must have been burning.
Olha,
Oh,
Taquara.
Cardoso.
Epa, they brought out the firepower from the bench. Hey, isto.
I miss him, man. I
Isso
miss
é
Cardoso.
classe,
He was
pá.
a fucking killer, bro. Cardoso was a straight up killer. João
Epa,
Moutinho.
grande aqui. He was there too.
Well struck. Side netting.
Esqueceu-se de reach out his arms. Who's this?
Look at all
Katsarunis?
those flags and banners though behind the
I know that
net.
shit was. I used to love that, bro. Who's Katsarunis? Hey, no. Yeah, Katsarunis.
Wow.
He's sending a telegram to Greece.
No,
Olha lá,
they're like-
Another Derlei. Oh, yeah,
they're
Derlei.
late.
Was that after or before he was with us?
That was before. I want to. Man, I don't know. I want to say before.
Oh,
maybe.
David Luiz.
Mm.
Class, pá.
Vai buscar.
Class.
Oh, Postiga.
That was Postiga. Oh, this is when he did the hand with the hand.
Yeah,
hand gesture.
that's when he did the hands.
Oh, yeah.
Olha o Carlos Martins. Epa,
Oh.
this team. Olha aí. Yo, this guy today on today's team would be freaking
Oh,
capitão.
yeah.
Holy
He'd be
shoot.
everything. Grande. Yo, that's
That's the
That's
winner.
Isso é que é
penalty, bro.
marcar.
That's
Isso é
the
que é
winner.
marcar.
Yeah, that was the
Side
winner.
netter. Olha aí. Hey,
Ah,
olha ali.
This was
I was
when,
saying they don't answer to reporters. They go on the field and everything. Olha aí.
it's when Benfica was pleasant to watch, bro. Even under Kike Flores.
Who's that? Mantorras? No, that's Suazo.
Swazo, yeah.
Yeah, Suazo.
All right, Dave, tira esse aí. Let's,
All right, guys. Listen, we'll
let-
talk
no,
to you in 3
let-
months after we
let-
come back from suspension.
let me
Hope
let
you
me ask
enjoyed it.
let me ask you guys this: what are you guys thinking for the matchup against Sporting for the final? Nelson Verissimo already said that this will not save the season. It's good that he's already tempering expectations. but yeah, man, what do you guys think? Positive? Como é que tá o palco
Pá,
esse ano?
Quando é para jogar contra o Sporting é sempre para ganhar, pá. Come on. I don't care what it's a marbles, camping, what it pitching the tents, whatever it is, the campismo, whatever you do, it's always to win, and I hope that these players understand that. Look, it's a Mickey Mouse Cup, but at the end of the day, it's still a cup, and it's still a very important game against your crosstown rivals. If you need any type of motivation, if you, I mean, it's sad if you need any type of motivation, but if you do, look at it as, look, it's another opportunity to take away a Kaneko from their museum, and so that should be enough to get these guys
ready for
Yeah,
this
because
game.
we
right?
know they have empty museum spaces for these trophies. You wanna give a prediction here, Chris?
Let you go to Dave. What are your expectations for this week's game? I mean, this final La Taça de Cerveja.
Even with Sporting's recent form, three wins, two losses this month of January, not coming at the peak performance here. They kind of did struggle in the first half against Santa Clara today, and then second half got the red card, and they kind of controlled the game in the second half. But even with Sporting not at their peak, I'm not feeling confident whatsoever, especially with us struggling against clubs like Boavista, Ruka. The list goes on. I'm going to go 3-1 Sporting.
Look, man, I'm banging on the drum here. Benfica, due to the fact it's against the crosstown rival, they're gonna show up in this game. I see a bunch of 2-1s in the chat, and that's kind of like where I'm leaning. I think 2-1 Benfica, ugly game, but at the end of the day, Benfica does enough to bring the Caneco to the good side, to the red side. So I'm leaning.
They've pulled up some results, some predictions from the chat.
Pera, e tu, pá? You always trying to get out of it.
While Dave pulls that up, I'm gonna say mine. I'm gonna go 2-2. Penalties, and Benfica wins on penalties. Timo 1-1 goes to penalties. Benfica wins. Carlos show up. I expect Benfica to show up 2-1. Gonçalves 2-1. Chuk ganha o jogo. Nelson Carvalho is not feeling. Is Carvalho is down, is not up. Is Carvalho 2-1 loss for Benfica. Chico Marcelino, Benfica loses an extra time. I don't know if they play extra time, Chico, or they just go right to penalties. Because they
Could
went
be
right to penalties in the
the extra
semis.
time in the 90th.
It should go straight to penalties. I think
Kevin 3-0. Also Bruno Rodrigues 0-0. Benfica ganha nos penaltis. Yeah, no extra time apparently. So Michael's saying.
But I love our Freddies. I love when our Freddies come out.
I'm with you, Carlos. I'll take ugly. I'll take a goal scored off the left butt cheek of somebody.
I'll say this. I'll take another one of those penalties off the chest.
And we're doing this podcast 10 years from now where we're recapping this game.
Because there's nothing better than a crying lizard, right?
Epá, não comecem a gozar antes. Não se manda foguete antes da festa. Estás a gozar e depois a águia que vai ser comida, vai ser assada, penada e assada. Calminha.
That's the truth, and we all know what our I'll take another Lucílio Cup. Yeah, that's what the Lagartos called it, the Lucílio Cup. Benfica won the Lucílio Cup that year. I remember that. I recall that. Foi uma choradeira for years. Every time that the League Cup was brought up, era Taça Lucílio Batista, and they got robbed off of that one, and it was great.
SOB YouTube says Benfica win. Look, these guys, all you got to do is talk about predictions.
4-1.
4-1. Se o Benfica marcar 4 gols nos próximos 4 jogos, we'll be happy.
It's going to be 4-1 on 3 shots from Benfica.
So include an own goal there.
No goal. Bro, anytime we play these guys, it's to win, man. That's it. There's only one objective. I mean, Benfica should have that objective every game, but that extra motivation. It's your crosstown rivals. You get an opportunity to take away a connect from them. I know it's nothing to write home about, to write home about, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's important. These games, mean stuff. It means a little something.
Kevin saying Mourinho isn't losing to Verissimo. Come on, guys. Yeah, here's the thing that I'm hopeful for, and we always have a lot of hope for Benfica, right? Understanding that Benfica is now only 3 points back from Sporting, I think it would if Benfica can win this game, maybe it could give the confidence that when we play them further down the season, that Benfica can also beat them and hopefully grab and lock in that second place for the Champions League, so we don't have to play the pre-qualifiers.
You're positive.
Whatever drugs
I'm
you guys
I'm
are
hopeful.
on, just
I'm
inject
hopeful.
it
Hey,
into me right now
Dave.
because like we're like half an hour ago we were ready to jump off a bridge thinking like, oh,
But that's
what a shitty
Dave, that's
performance.
that's what the therapy
Dave.
does.
Oh,
It
Dave.
renews
no.
it renews your hope.
Alfredo's confident that 3 months from now Benfica's still going to be within striking distance in the Sporting. That's what's up, Alfredo.
Well, with Sporting is 3 points.
That's what I'm
Right
saying.
now,
They'll
as
still
of right
be
now.
within striking distance in 3
Yeah, in
months.
3 months when we play them, we'll be within striking. We'll be the 3 points. We'll be in a position where if we
3
beat
or
Sporting,
better.
we can
Yeah, we're
leapfrog
still
'em.
within striking distance. Yeah.
But I want the thing is that it's funny because Chris and I have talked about this, and Dave also. We come to start the podcast and it's like, oh, what are we going to talk about? Do we really have to talk about? But to be honest with you, in the therapy that we talk about all the time, it's real. So we finished up the podcast in good spirits. We were able to get shit off my chest and off our chests, and God knows that Chris got some stuff off his chest, and now there's a renewed hope for this game, which only ends up being shut down while you're watching the game. It's not even at the end of the game. While you're watching the game, you lose all hope because of what you're seeing on the pitch.
We need to start these at 9:30 in the morning and not 9:30 at night because like after this podcast, I'm joyous. I'm great for the rest of the night. I can't go to sleep. But in the morning, I need something to wake me up and to get out of bed. And we need to start doing these in the AM and not in the PM because afterwards I'm all jacked up and can't go to sleep after this.
Yeah, Michael. I don't know, man. If we can't still be hopeful of this Benfica, then what's the point of even watching and doing this, man? I don't know. It's just the passion that drives us. That we're always
Bro, you're a
that we're
shrink.
so hopeful, bro.
Shrink, this is a shitty job. They know they're going to talk to people all day about shitty problems, but they still show up because that's their job. That's your duty here, bro. That's why you do this.
Marcico
Not about
Marcelino
hope.
was saying that you're a therapist that yells in the client's face.
Acorda, caralho.
Get your fucking shit together. This
Bueno.
bullshit. This anxiety is bullshit. It's all in your head.
Mas vamos lá, Chico. Does it get you to wake up afterwards or not? That's the important part.
Chico's in Portugal, I think. He's ready to go to sleep, maybe.
Ponha mais tabaco. I don't know
Ponha
this
mais
Bruno
tabaco.
Rodrigues, but I like him. I like these guys.
Come on, ponha mais tabaco. Yeah, no. Bruno, as hopeful as we like to be, and temos esperança que isto possa mudar, mas eu acho que isto já não leva caminho. Eu acho que isto vai ser, até ao fim, vai ser sofrer. So,
Epa, you stole that from ganhar. Fuck miseria. I'm never going to hear those words the same now.
that should be our new slogan. Sofrer. Rather than... Anyway, let's get out of here, man. An hour and 27 minutes. It's about enough. You went into overtime with the shrink bill here.
Os penaltis.
Os penaltis.
Não há penaltis.
No, penalties. Já foi penalties. All right, everybody. On Tuesday, Benfica will play Gil Vicente on Wednesday, which means that on Tuesday we will be here wrapping up or talking about this Sporting game and whatever else we could come up with. Maybe because we only have one game, maybe we'll decide to do that one challenge. The 10 years of the podcast and all the roster of the 10 years, and we'll pick an all Benfica podcast 10-year anniversary team. That's a
Right,
challenge.
got a little message for the Freddies.
Go.
You brought it today. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Love you guys. Thanks for the support.
All right, everyone. Take care. Enjoy your week. And if you got any superstitions or some rituals that you do before
Don't
the
choke
game.
up now, bro.
I know.
If you got
the only time I saw you choke up was when Darwin scored a goal, bro. I don't want to, you know what I mean? Don't.
If you got any superstitions or any pregame rituals that you do, don't do them because
Use
apparently it's
them.
not working.
Use them, bro. We need all the help we could get.
Take care, everyone. Dave, Chris, let's go.
Make it. Oh, we're doing this? Oh, man, I want to continue talking. Later, guys. See you next time.
Thank